I wish good things to you who's watching this. I am Alexey, and this is episode 7 of Speedrun, a series of videos in which I measure the journey from complete beginner to Carcassonne master with my second, still somewhat secret account on Board Game Arena. So we are now at the rating of 463, which is just 37 points short of the rank of expert and 200 more points short of the rank of master. So we also have played 20 games, which means that we're now eligible for a custom avatar. One loss, one tie, and the rest is wins. We're going to try and rack up 3 more wins today so that we cross the psychological threshold of 500 elo points. We're going to play in arena mode just so that we get paired up a little bit quicker than normal. Alrighty, we're playing a player with a screen name Loco Loquito. How do you translate this? Affectionate term for crazy. Does this mean they're going to make some interesting moves? Maybe. We do get the starting player advantage. I have never played with this player before, so in addition to trying to win the game, we're also trying to guess their elo based on their moves. So far, so good. And we get a nice monastery tile, which is something that's going to give us a slight advantage, but not anymore because our next tile is not particularly fortunate. Now, what they should do is... That's actually also a move, but I don't think it was... No, it's alright, it's alright. I would have done something different. Would have used the road end. Now, unfortunately, we gotta help them a little bit. This is a move for sure. This is a move which I do not quite like, because it sets us up for a losing mini battle, 2 versus 6 if this square gets blocked. This is alright, but then in some scenarios they get a triple city, and they actually have a completable city which we cannot attack. So I think this is the move that we're going to have to settle for. Okay, so based on this move, I'm going to estimate that my opponent is rated for sure below 400, because the best move here is to try and start another city. That way they're not going to... they are actually quite unlikely to complete their city. That said, there aren't too many attacking squares, and for all squares to attack the city, I'm going to need a city with a road. But still, a better move is just always to start a new city with a city cap. Here, we're going to go for the greediest move. I know what you're going to say. Yeah, it is risky in some scenarios. I do get blocked. It's still, in my view, better to just go for maximum value when we can. But interestingly, this is the 3rd starting tile that I have. Very interesting. You might, shall we attack the city? No, of course not. There will be time to do that. We rather wait for a better tile, and if we attack with a city cap, this could get blocked. So we'd rather complete our own city, pre-build a road. Yes, it could cost us in some scenarios, but with this move, we're also setting up a block. Ooh, actually, they draw a fantastic tile. So they could, they could do this. I mean, it's pretty rare that they draw this. Well, anyway, so now we only have a 50% chance of completing a monastery. Now, I believe we should not continue this city because it becomes too blockable. We just simply should wait for a city cap or something. We need to start a second city, but where? Here, we don't want to have our features too close together because they're vulnerable. Here, we're also giving our opponent a chance to prolong their road and attack our city indirectly. But here we have the same issue. So out of all the options, this is the most reasonable one. Okay, this is actually a really good move. Our opponent is 2 triangles away from completing the city. But it doesn't, the run out of the tiles doesn't change much. It still was not correct to attack that city with the starting tiles. Now, this is a 5-point monastery, but it will be a bit awkward to complete because if I get another monastery, I have to put it here. And then I have to meeple it hoping for 50-50 because there's only 1 tile left to fit this hole. So actually, instead of taking a 5-point monastery, much better play is taking 4-point monastery because I'm also controlling this road and I'm going to freeload from this meeple, from the green meeple. So now I think what they should do is like place a straight line over here. Ah, okay. Now that's interesting, huh? Do we just go here? Or do we just go here? So here's the thing, it slightly restricts their city, but at the same time, it also takes away an attacking square. Well, this is a move that is 0 points in value, 1 point for the road, 1 point for the monastery. I think it's not bad. Okay. They get a city cap. They don't have a good place to start a new city. Well, probably at the bottom. That's what you gotta do if you're green. And in fact, they choose an even better square because they're also attacking my road somewhat. Now, I could place it here, start attacking the city from both sides, but this tile is just too good. Because if I complete this city, which now looks increasingly likely, there's really not even that much of an issue in having this completed. In having my opponent's city completed. Now here are my moves. I could place here, build up my monastery. That's a legit move. But I think since I don't get an attacking tile, I'd rather put here and yes, lose a mini battle. But beggars can't be choosers. Like if you have to commit yourself to losing mini battle, well then so be it. Like there's just not much that you can do. And because now this city needs to be taken care of, right? Our opponent could still get 2 triangles or something. Yeah, I could go here, but this is not ideal because this opens an attacking platform on my city. So I'd rather go here and create a double threat. Now the problem is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 3 straight lines remaining, but like it is now so unlikely for my opponent to save both squares that this for show is the correct move. Actually, in some scenarios, I block this square, but I connect through, but I like continue through this square. So I get my road meeple continued further, but my opponent does not. Now they get a tile which is normally good, but because they don't have a second city open, they have to start a new city in an awkward place. So I can see actually 2 places. One is, ooh, not there, not there. Don't meeple it. That would be a big mistake. I don't know, I shouldn't be like rooting for my opponent and stuff, but if they meeple it, the reason why this would be a mistake, yeah, okay, so I think that my opponent is rated between 1 and 200. Like closer to 100 actually. So I think we're playing a beginner, which is fine. So now here's what you're gonna see. Like maybe some of you might be inclined to play tights and finish this city. But there's no reason to do so. Even though it's a lot of points, we can actually get, we can do this later. And also, it's very hard to build up far enough to attack this because both of the squares around the city are restricted. So it's really, really safe. So instead, this is better. We're securing our vulnerable square, like just all the good things. So now our opponent makes another mistake. Of course, yes, it's important for them to continue their city, but they should be doing in a way that continues their road, not in a way that continues my road. But now this makes the game all the more interesting, because ideally I would want a straight line or a curve, or even like better road finisher to place over here in a way that blocks our opponent. But we don't have that tile. But still, there's still 4 triangles with the road remaining, and chances are our opponent could have it on our next move. So this is a situation where we can't finish this, this, or this. We have to deploy our last meeple to try and equalize this city. Now, it's not about equalization, it's just simply about preventing our opponent from completing this city. But even for equalization, there's still 2 tiles that left here, and it gives us a 75% chance. And the worst case scenario is, well, we lose a meeple. And our opponent loses 2 meeples, which is okay. They do score a lot of points for these 2 meeples, but like we do what we have to do. Now they continue, they make a good move now. They make an attacking square. And this is where I think we should do something which is normally not recommended, kind of converging these 2 cities into one. The reason why this is not recommended because like you can get both meeples blocked, but actually now it is more important to do so because now first of all, they're actually not that easy to block because both sides from which you could create blocking platforms are actually quite restricted. And also there's another reason. You want to make sure that you can use as many of different future tiles as possible productively. And we already have a city which we're going to finish with a city cap. And now we're going to have a place which we're going to finish with a triangle. So what should they do now? Maybe finish their road, or take 3 points, or start attacking me. Either attacking my monastery or attacking my city, just something. Taking 2 points is also fine on the left. Actually better taking 2 points somewhere over here. And now we do get quite fortunate because we get the tile that we needed quite soon. Now, some of you might have reservations about this. Hey, why put this tile here? Because you're giving your opponent 2 meeples back when yourself you're having 1 meeple back. No, but it's not, the game is not about meeples. Because in this case, look at that. My opponent has, so this is 1, 1, this is equal. So my opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 points to spare. 10 points for the meeple is a good investment. So with this move, we're getting a meeple back, and we are basically exchanging 10 points for the, well, actually 9 points for the meeple, because we're also adding 1 more point to our opponent. But it was a necessary move. Now, that's funny, like, we're down 13 points and 5 meeples, which looks bad, but actually our situation is pretty good. Because these monasteries make up for the difference. These are relatively safe. This is also safe. This road is really, really nice now because of this extra tile. Because we can actually continue it and end soon. There's still 3 T crossroads that go here. A curve goes here. A curve goes also here. Like, we have actionable tiles in pretty much every move. They should meeple this road. That would be a good move for them. It's a good road. They should try to connect. Okay, good move. And now, of course, adding points to a potentially shared road doesn't do much. But even this move aside, the first priority is to block. If you can block an opponent's meeple completely, especially if it's a city meeple, which they could get back in the future, this is the priority move. And now there's 0 tiles that fit here, which is great for us. Now, what should our opponent do? They should just take quick points, like maybe here, because they're planning to share this road anyway, so they can take 3. An alternative is that they could take 2 at the same time, slightly harassing my monastery. But about this shared city, by the way. So the main problem for them is that we've invested only 3 moves, and also one was not by choice, like this one. But they invested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves. So they invested 3 moves more. Okay, good move by our opponent. And what does that... Ooh. Is that a misclick? I think that's a misclick. Because that's definitely a farmer which has started to farm too early. Now it's time to finish our city, and we're also threatening to block off this road. Or to reconnect. No, reconnecting is not that good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 3 curves that go in here. There's also 3 city tiles. Now this move, which I was planning before, would not be good. So I was planning to put a straight line over here and sort of like reconnect to the road. But now our opponent could easily separate it. So we just want to wait for a straight line. Or for a curve, I mean. But now, what do we do with this tile? That's a good question. It's a really good question, actually. Starting a new road does not make that much sense because there will be other goals that we need road tiles for. Doing this isn't directly adding points to our opponents. Yeah, I don't want to just spend too much time. I think what I can do is like go here. This is some backwards equity, backdoor equity. We take this. A backdoor means that like I need to get back-to-back tiles to make a goal to accomplish, to accomplish a goal. Here. Like the idea is that if we stick in another straight line, which we don't have many uses for, then it will be harder for them to continue the city and accumulate more points. It's very, very marginal value, but we have to do something productive. Also, that said, there are only 2 straight lines remaining anyway. So they get a monastery, which is pretty interesting. Of course, a very tempting move is over here, but this square is already blocked, so this is not ideal. Another one is over here for 5 points, which is semi-decent. The best one, I think, though, is over here. Yeah, it's actually by far the best monastery spot, because they get to pre-build a 3-point road next to the monastery. They get to place it in a field, which potentially can be like, what's already 3, going to be 6, going to be 9 points maybe if I'm lucky enough to draw a tile to fit in this hole. But also it controls an attacking square for these 2 meeples. And in fact, they could maybe like draw any tile that fits here and add an extra point to our monastery. Will our opponent find this move? I'm not sure. This is not bad. Actually, I rather like it. I would have turned it the other way. No, it's good because it's putting direct pressure on these 2 guys. And there are chances for this guy to get completed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, we should not do this. We should just basically wait for our opponent to, maybe block these meeples. Now, what can we do? We can start a new city. That's what you should do. But the problem is that this is a divider. So wherever we start a new city, it will leave an empty city cap, and we don't want that. Okay, time's up. I'm just going to make the move first and comment later. Otherwise, our opponent's going to kick us out. Now, what's the purpose of this move? It simply just makes it harder for our opponent to continue their city. In fact, it's impossible. So even though we're giving our opponent 1 point, we're sort of like taking away further points from them potentially. Now, but the main purpose of this move was just like not to leave another empty city cap. Also, the fact that we're closing off the ruin is not that effective. In fact, normally it's like Ooh, look at that, making some good moves, making it harder for me to block. Well done, well done. Okay, really good. So what should we do? We should just finish our city, basically. We still have some advantage because of our monasteries. They should meeple another monastery. Okay, yeah. That's a bit extravagant. Maybe they're trying to block here. I could start a new city. And here's what I'm thinking, like, there are now only 2 tiles that left here. Is it important to even block these guys or not? Maybe not. Yeah, I don't think I want to spend a tile on that, actually. I think I'm just gonna start another city. And they very well could connect to the road. Good for them. It would be a mistake to meeple the field, but they're thinking about it. Well, it would be a mistake because they already own this field. Like, what do they need this for? By the way, just to explain like why I didn't use the city cap to block the 2 meeples. Yeah. Too much. It's because there's a reasonable chance that these 2 guys will be blocked anyway, together with the monasteries. So I just don't want to spend a move on that. What should they do? It's a good question. They should just continue their monastery, basically. It will give them 2 points. And also, like, for strategically, if I do get my meeples back, and if they also complete their monasteries, it's not a problem. Because these 2 guys will give me enough points, and also when I complete those do come with a farmer. Now, they have 2 meeples on a field that's worth 6 points. This is definitely premature, and there will be greater fields in the future. So why don't we restrict this field further? They get another tile that we could have used over here. And they have several good uses for this tile themselves. They could place it on the right, trying to restrict my city meeples and block them completely. They could place it over here, trying to restrict my monastery, but this would restrict their field more than it would restrict my monastery. Okay, good. They find a good move. I don't know why I'm rooting for them. I shouldn't. They should never meeple this. And we get another monastery, which is very nice. So here or here, this is a good question. I know the answer. Do you know the answer? Actually, yeah, like, comment where you would place this monastery, because like there's this 5-point spot, this 5-point spot, this 5-point spot. This is of course is better because these are both 6-point spots. So we're going to be choosing one of them, but I'm going to choose this one because there's still tiles that give me like the one that my opponent just got, that give me 2 points in addition to 1 point for the monastery. Actually, just for so that you know the pattern, it's advantageous to have your monastery next to a little piece of road like this. Only if there's a road end here. And only if there's a sufficient number of road ends remaining in the deck. There were 2 before this move. There's 1 more still. What should they do is a good question. That's a legit move. They're getting 2 points. They're pre-building a 3-point road. Yeah, I can't criticize them. Well, they made some mistakes in the beginning, but I'm continuing the city simply because there's just like not a lot left to do. You could say that I'm making my city slightly vulnerable, but it was vulnerable anyway. Like, they could draw one of the triangles and attack one of the cities. Yeah, they do this, which is of course a problem. And also they draw the starting tile that I needed here, so this meeple stays there until the end of the game. But This also means that they did not use this tile to block my meeple, so it's all right. Now, what do? We take 2 points, but do we take them like this? I think we take them like this, actually. That was quick. Actually, yeah, that was a problem. I did not want to restrict this field. That was a slight misstep, actually. Yeah, and of course, they had to block these guys at some point. Well, maybe they were greedy for points, but now we get to go here, we get to have our meeples back, we get to drop a farmer, even though it's only 6 points. At the end of the game, there aren't going to be many point scoring opportunities because there's only 1 monastery left, and we ain't getting it in any case. They will in all likelihood get this meeple back because there's still 3 curves as far as I remember. 2 curves, I didn't see something, yeah. But tile tracking also. I didn't count the curves again, I just remembered that there were 3 at the time, but actually there's now 2 because of this guy. And if we look at the situation, they have a 6-point field, we have a 6-point field. But we're controlling our field with 1 meeple and they have 2 meeples invested. Oh, good for them. I think I need to help them out a little bit. Or do I? Because I wanted to do this at first to kind of block this space. That would be nice. But maybe actually the move for me is just to go here. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. Because if they finish their stuff, then if they finish their monasteries, their other monastery, then we get to meeple the city. But now it doesn't work because they get a curve too quickly. Shall we meeple this city or this city? Because we still have the meeple advantage, we still have more monasteries, we still have more points on the board. I haven't been tile tracking very well when it comes to city tiles, but I know there are crossroad cities out. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's still 2 city caps with a curve. There are lots of regular city caps, though. All right. Wrong curve for them. Wrong curve for them. By the way, the purpose of this move was just to get 2 points. Like, yeah, we could get blocked, but, you know, there's only 1 curve now left anyway. And also, like, getting meeples back is not important. We even have more than we need, because there's only 10 tiles remaining, which means that you typically need to have 1 meeple. And we even have 2, because this is coming back pretty soon. Unless they block, which they should. But if they block, then we... Will we see a meeple? All right, it's risky. And also, I can't help it, I think. Because there's still 2 vertical dividers. Nice move. So I can't do anything. Wait, yeah, I can't do anything about it. There's no way how to block. Only with a straight line, which I think there's only 1 or 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. There's also crossroads. Okay, but let's see. Maybe our opponent gets a meeple back. Still, the wrong kind of curve. Because all the 3 city caps with the other kind of curve are out. And you can try and remember that. Also, we got a second one of those. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, actually, they're thinking a bit too long. Maybe we can do something about this. Because I don't want for the video to get too long. Yeah, -2 is a bit too much. I want to kind of encourage them to sort of act quicker. Now, this move is legit. I wanted to do this. The idea is that, like, we place a meeple and we get compensation if they get the tile that they need. But now, since there's also 1 curve remaining, we don't want to make it too easy to finish their monastery. Instead, we just take 4 points. We gotta meeple this later. They get their... Yeah, they get their... Nice, the risk paid off. I mean, like, in the second half of the game, they actually started playing much better. It looks like the game is equal, but I still have these 2 monasteries. I have a slightly... 3 monasteries, actually. I have a slightly larger field, and there shouldn't be anything that my opponent can do about this. So we just meeple a 6-point field. Now what they could do, they could like take 4 points, 3 for the roads, 1 for this. They could also go here and drop a farmer, in which case they are only going to get slightly more, like not too many points. +9 on the fields, we have +15 on the monasteries, and -5 for cities. So I have +19, now we'll have +15 after this, even though our opponent makes a good move. What do we do? There is, I think, exactly 1 curve. I'm not even going to recount. There are 2 city splitters and 1 straight line. Or did we already use it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything's just so similar with this layout. Yeah, so actually the remaining tiles are 1 straight line, 1 curve, and 2 simple, 2 vertical dividers. You see, with tile tracking, actually, we didn't have to count too much. Now, this also means that we don't really have good ways of making points. So, if anything, we should just do this and take a 4-point city, because there isn't going to be anything better. And also because we actually have an option to get a meeple back. And also we have an option like of getting 1 of these and placing them in our field, and then like adding 3 points by completing a city without a meeple. There was also this opportunity, like having this 6-point field like this, but we are having 2 points in a meeple back. We can't complain about that. A move that they could make is, actually that they should make, is to go here. Ooh. Okay. This is actually not bad, because they're hoping to sort of connect and then finish the city. But I think it's not a problem. So the remaining tiles are straight line and like a city. Wait a second. So yeah. So this is good. We're getting a meeple back. There's no reason to block this city, actually, because they're still going to have the other city, and we'll win the coin flip anyway. And also, if they get this tile, they should not be taking this city, because that gives them only 6 points. They should be taking this city, because that gives them 7 points for the city, and 3 for the field, and 3 points for the road. And we're going to get these 6 extra points just to make it an even more considerable difference of something like 24 points, I guess? 26. All right, I hope you learned something. And as I said, yeah, my opponent was rated between 1 and 200, closer to 100. For that rating, actually, they played pretty decent. They made some mistakes at the start. Some of them, I would say, even were counterintuitive. For example, over here, when they had a choice to continue their city whilst helping themselves versus continue their city whilst helping me, they chose the latter option. So I think it was a bit of an oversight. And also starting a city which is blockable in 1 move. It's okay to start cities in risky places, but not in such a way that's blockable in 1 move. And then in the second half of the game, they made a lot of good moves. They ended up equalizing this important road. They ended up building up these 2 monasteries. But as I said, I think it's okay that I didn't block them, because I knew that these 2 monasteries would only get finished if I get adequate compensation through this city. All right, next game. We gained Only 5 rating points, yeah, because you see, as we increase our rating, it does seem that we're awarded fewer rating points in the future, but also because the higher our rating gets, the greater the probability that we're playing against a lower rated opponent. And we're about to start game 2 against a strong Brazilian player who I'm pretty sure is rated over 500. I've played them many times with my main account, but do they watch the channel? It's a question. Well, let's see if they say anything in the chat. I hope they don't. I hope they don't. Well, actually, no, I hope they do, but like it's a conflict of interest, you see, because like I hope that they watch the channel so that like more people watch my channel, but also I hope that they I hope that they watched everything except the speedrun series. Alrighty. Get a pretty good start. Now, tempting choice. Do we take almost a 5-point throw, or do we do this? I think this is more important, especially given that a couple of roads plus city tiles are out. Of course, there's always the other splitter for somebody to take over, but just securing this away from this meeple was more important. We'll be able to meeple this road pretty soon. Ooh. Oh yeah, why not, actually? We could just do this. But no. At the start of the game, be aggressive in scoring. They could make it so that they could actually block themselves, which would be quite reasonable, actually. This move is also right, and I think this is where we need to sort of like waste a city cap because we don't want this guy connecting. It's fine. And also there weren't many like super lucrative places to start a city anyway. Now another dilemma. Do we go here, which is what we really want, and drop a farmer? Or I think we have to go here just so that our opponent does not take the city away. Yeah, there's always this equity. Oof, early farmer. How about like I block the square and this guy remains with 6, at most 9 points? No, we gotta have a meeple back. And we'll be able to deal with this stuff later. Actually, if anything, I'm gonna be waiting for... I'm not gonna be finishing this road, because then our opponent will be able to attack. I will be waiting for, very, very patiently, for a road plus city tile. This is interesting. Well, first of all, actually that's going to be a pretty good field for like 12 points or so. But no. I think we need to go here and put pressure on this guy because 5 crossroads are out, including the 3 crossroads with the city. That is not great for them. That is not great for them at all. And now we're going to try and block this guy, this time without a meeple, because it is not in their best interest. Oh, okay, I was saying this thing, yeah, but I'm just weighing so many candidate moves. Now, one is this, trying to connect through a curve, which is not that bad, but then sometimes this gets blocked, and I don't like this. Okay, we'll have to just live with this farmer, although it's pretty good, but in all likelihood, here's the thing, it's probably going to be 9 points, which, you know, we can live with. If it gets to 12 points, then if this city gets completed, there will be more squares for reconnection. Yeah, that's good. They're forced to react. But what do we do here? Because we can't go here. Here is okay, but then they will be able to attack 2 meeples with 1 move. Here is also okay, but actually we just want to curve and just limit this guy. Oh! Yeah, look at that. Starting a new city. This can't be bad. Starting a new city. Yeah, they will be able to go here. And then I think we'll have to give up on our dream of capturing the city. And if anything, we did that only so that they don't do that. We could attack this city, though. That'll be pretty nice. But when it comes to priorities... You see, when it comes to priorities, there's still 4 regular city caps, and I don't like that. So I think this is better because this also prevents the city from getting completed. This also leaves their field meeple stranded with 6 points. I think this is correct. Even though they're going to now complete their city, it's fine. I'm also going to complete a city. Also, it's actually not ideal that like my road is made bigger as a result. Oh, like that. Interesting. So not the other way. Okay, so they're saying that the farmer is going to play. Now we have 2 candidate moves. This, which I really like, and this, which I also really like, with the farmer. I'm sort of threatening to connect. And in the field battle, we should be having the upper hand, because we're likely to have more meeples. They should meeple a monastery here. That's the only reasonable move. Well, another reasonable move is meepling the monastery here, but it's like it's a bit more creative, more Japanese style. Again, 2 possible moves, this and this. This is just better. Like, we get our thing back. This city's vulnerable. It just needs to hold on 1 turn. Hold on 1 move. No! Yeah, they always should be doing this. Always from the other side. Like, that's just a mistake. Yeah, like, I don't see how you can justify this, actually. Because if they complete the block, there'll be 2 tiles remaining. We should not go here. This will be awkward. If anything, because they're going to play in the monasteries, we're just going to go all out on the field. Okay. Oh, actually, that's rather nice, because that's also 75%. For them, yeah, we should do this. Think this comes first. It's a bit too long to explain, but there is actually a reason why this is slightly better. Just like that. That's just so blatant. I mean, now, of course, we can't be greedy here. If we can get their meeple block, they'll be of strategic importance. Because here's the thing, like, if we have the advantage now, despite these monasteries, so I don't think it's a good idea to just hope for these tiles. Yeah, we just have to go here, meeple this. Now there's some scenarios how this gets connected together. They should go here. They should... What are these moves? Like, they're helping. It's helping me. Are you seeing this? There's still plenty of triangles. I mean, they're planning to block this later, but they don't have the percentages. Now, do we meeple a monastery? I might be inclined to say no, but we should be doing just fine. This can get completed pretty quickly. They do get a good tile. Okay, how many curves are there? 1, 2, 3, 4... Still 5. So this does not make sense just yet. This is an important strategic move because now there are no good, at least for now, no field connections to this field. So we're actually eliminating this. And we are controlling a sizable field. And I think we are going to do this. Is that bad? Sort of kind of pre-completing this stuff. I think that's good. No? You don't think so? It's also kind of taking away field connection. We're controlling a field for 12 meeples, potentially 12 points, potentially 15. Yeah, let's go. Of course, and now they have to go here with their last meeple. Whew. But now, of course, there's the downside of me not being able to play this tile. It really belongs in my field, you know. It really does belong in my field, and there's absolutely no good way to deploy this. Like, there's 0 good moves here. This Do we just leave it empty, or do we leave 2 city caps empty? Well, this creates a counter field, and I don't want to do that because they can just complete the monasteries and win without having to fight for the field. I don't like that. Do we just leave this empty because they would be inclined to finish their city first? I don't know. But all I know is that I'm just making this move. Unfortunately, they play correctly. Oh, should I have considered just placing him? Yeah, maybe I should have considered just simply starting in my own city. Why did I not think about this? Just start my own city somewhere else. Anyway, okay, we'll have to live with this. Still plenty of curves, so we go here. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's the counter field. That was like one of the few tiles that left here. But, okay, that's fine. Because we get this. We're about to finish our huge, huge city very, very soon. What are these moves? Like, what's the point of this farm? I know what it's trying to do, but like, this... Okay, this can't be right. Because I can still meeple this. I can actually cut this guy off completely, but I'm going to do this later. Because this is just too good. It suits my monastery perfectly. They get one of the tiles that I needed, which is a problem. And this field is so good. And I kind of need it. And this might be one of those situations where I do place my last meeple on the farm, as much as I do not like doing that. But I have this, I have this. I'm going to miss out on a few points. I still have 1 tile left here. I still have 2 here. Or do we just do this first? Because I think we'll be able to connect later. Yeah, let's just try and not be too crazy. Of course. This meeple is now dead. Should we protect this square? That's not much of protection in it, because there are all kind of tiles that suit there. It does seem that now we have to sort of commit a meeple there, maybe. Let's just do it. It says a lot of points. And that's it. This should be the win. This should be the win. Now, there aren't too many tiles remaining, but do we just secure this field? Yeah, there's also this. It would be nice to take points for those. There's 2 tiles remaining. Okay, we actually are +9. 1, 2, 3, 4. -3 in this indirect battle, so 6. Then this is 7. Then this is 1. We're at +1 and a field. So we're at +16. Well, I'm not counting this because there's still a sufficient number of curves to connect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's very few tiles left that fit here. So actually, I'm almost committing my last meeple like for good. And they're monasteries. They're many things. I'm not sure about this. But it's a good field. Oh, there's also this connection here. It's fine. They also only have 1 meeple. Yeah, what are they gonna do? Okay, let's just do this. Oh, actually, did I miss something? No, 1. Oh yeah, I have 1 more tile to complete here than I thought. Which is why I was considering... Actually, I'm still considering this move. Because that way we're going to have 4 tiles. 4 tiles is a lot. Another move I was considering is this. Just to try and start blocking here. Do we take away tiles from ourselves or not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. This still doesn't work. Maybe this does, though. All right. Well, it ended up being all the same. They have a dilemma about the monastery for sure. That's decent. We do get a meeple back. It creates another field connection, but we're going to just block it quite soon. Okay, even though they don't have meeples, we're still going to block this connection for the future, although is that much of a block really, because they can still connect with a straight line through a curve. Maybe this is better. Yeah, there's got to be connections no matter what, but let's go from this side first. Oh wait, I have meeples. I'm not going to use them just yet. Well, they have to get their meeple back, right? Should they have 2 monasteries? There's still 1 tile that fits here. They could connect. But this field is more important, and it's 15 points, and I think now we have to make this. But there's also this connection as well. Like, there's no escaping this no matter what. Like, there's really no escaping this. So maybe the blocking here is better. Okay, let's go like this. They should meeple. I think. They should meeple the monastery. Man, can they win this? Oh, they're going for the field, which is alright. Because they're going to just like equalize everything, right? Will we have a farmer? Actually, what are the remaining tiles? A bunch of curves for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 curves. 1 crossroads. And a curve with a triangle, maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Nailed it. Let's say they get a regular curve. And we get a curve here. Actually, no. We don't need that. They need this. But maybe we need to, yeah, we need to meeple this road, actually. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna do this. Okay, this doesn't work. This is curve. Okay, yeah, so this is the only one that sort of is dangerous. Okay. So they have a curve and a crossroads. Wait a second. I mean, I should still be winning. I don't think their monastery is not going to be enough because we have... What's wrong with me exactly? Why did I not count that properly? How could I miss a monastery of all things? Well, it happens to me as well. But this is one of the reasons I made this move, is like to connect to this field through a curve. And now we're just gonna go here and win 2 fields. Okay, so even though this was quite an unfortunate miscount that we did at the end, I think overall I played all right. Like, I think we made important strategic decisions. So first of all, we tried blocking this. Then we were really patient with this attack. Then we tried connecting to the field when we recognized that the field was worth fighting for. Our opponent had lots of monasteries, and I think they did a really good job at trying to come back. But before they did so, I think they made some moves which were a bit too hasty. And like normally, actually, I know these players, they normally play better. So, you know, maybe like against my main account, they focus a little bit more and they thought they were playing some rando, which is great, which is exactly what we want. Yep, 20 victories, not in a row, unfortunately, but we can fix that a little bit later. We gain 10 rating points only, so it will take us a while to get to 500. Not sure if that's going to even happen in this video, but maybe. Yeah, and then we got our meeple, our last meeple on the field, just because this field was too good. And the reason why I did that is because so many crossroads were out and so many city caps were out. There were not many places where I could get points with that meeple. And certainly not more than 9 or 12 in particular. So we had to anticipate this. Alrighty, well, that was fun. Oh, yeah, I think actually my opponent's biggest mistake, I don't know, maybe they got nervous or something, was just helping me build this city and then not trying to take it over. That was, I think, the game-winning feature. Because the monasteries, they actually ended up nicely compensating for this field, and more than compensating even, but this city, so many points. Oh, actually, I gotta remember, let's look at the stats. Thinking time, obviously, it's mostly talking time. Lots of fields. Cities, roughly the same. How did that happen? That's interesting. Well, I guess they had like more of the smaller cities. Roads, very unusual, low for me. And yeah, well, you see, kind of classic imbalance. 27 for fields, 26 for monasteries. I got like a little bit for monasteries. They got a little bit for fields. And one of those rare situations where our opponent had significantly more meeples placed. I tend to be quite greedy and like place more meeples myself. Alrighty, and shall we go for a final game for today? And we get paired up quickly with a player from Chile with whom I have played before, but I do not remember their rating. And one thing that I do remember, I can tell their rating, so yeah, that's a big mistake. So it's definitely under 300. Because it is quite lucky to draw a monastery as a first tile. I have to finish the city because it's vulnerable. They would have had 3 points. They would have had 4 points for the monastery. Like, why would you not meeple this? Is it worth attacking this road? Starting a new one? Maybe. I'm not sure what the correct move is. Yeah, actually I am sure. It's this, as awkward as it may seem. But basically we just want to start a ring road and slightly restrict our opponent's road, and they're going to need 2 roads ends to finish it, which is fine, of course. Now, always this facing upwards, we're getting pretty decent tiles. Their monastery would have had 5 points. I guarantee you, it's going to be pretty much built up. Okay. It's very nice to free up our meeples early. We're helping our opponent a little bit, but we're helping ourselves more, and it's already 12-0. Are you going to meeple a monastery now? So, and also the fact that they didn't meeple the monastery, you know for sure that they do not watch this channel. In case you are a beginner yourself. Okay, finally, that's a good move actually. But imagine now, had they meepled this monastery, they would have had 2 adjacent monasteries that would have been so strong. They would have had an advantage, but now I think I have an advantage. That's good. They don't let me continue this. I have to just go here. Yeah, what else can I do? Don't want to leave city material lying around. As inconvenient as this move may be. This is so I don't have a place because I can't go here. I can't. This is just helps them with the roads too much. This leaves an open road. This makes my city vulnerable. I guess there's this, as inconvenient as it is. Now we get a good tile. Which of these two cities to finish? This one or this one? Of course, the correct answer is the bottom one, because this one is under control of the monastery. So this wouldn't be really just finish it. This would be prolonging it because I have to meeple a city cap anyway. But this one, we get to restrict our opponent's city. And now it's actually a standard situation where they should, when they get a meeple city cap, they should meeple the field. Now, do we get 6 points here with a pre-built road and then an attack on the city? Potentially, no. I think 7 points is better with a little piece of road as well. Now they should meeple the farm. Okay. It's okay not to do so, but it's good to do so. Now we gotta get this meeple back simply to get away from a situation where we are controlled as soon as possible. This is inconvenient. That's a good move, because now we want this to start a ring road. We want this to continue our city, but I think the best move is this. Even though this meeple is threatened, we're now ready to complete this with a city cap. There's still all 3 starting tiles remaining, and there's still 7 triangles remaining to do this. And of course here you don't meeple the road because there are still many roads remaining. They chose wisely to take 3 points over here. Now we can set up for a monastery, but I think the best move is to start a ring road and to drop a farmer once we've finished it. Timely. Timely attack. What do we do? Do we go here hoping for a splitter? Maybe. Do we go here and meeple the field? Maybe. Do we go here and continue our monastery? No, too vulnerable. Field it is. I am losing a tempo here, but I just can't think of another actionable move. I'm losing a tempo because I'm going to drop a farmer when I get a starting tile anyway. Although in some scenarios I don't get a starting tile and this thing gets blocked. Our opponent gets a fantastic tile. But are they they choose to meeple the field? That's actually not that bad. Of course, I obviously prefer the monastery. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna continue like this. Meeple another city cap. Drop another farmer. They could take these things here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 curves remaining. Yeah, that's pretty good. Taking advantage of this. And now I don't want the splitter that bad. I actually am not going to separate. I'm just going to connect to this ruin. Now, good question. Do we go here? Or here? Or here? 1, 2, 3. So it's nice to finish a monastery with another monastery, but there's only 2 of those remaining. And also that way I would be getting my meeples tangled up too easily. Because when I finish this, this is vulnerable. Do I just go here and like hope for a I think that's the move. I know, of course, we normally want to do otherwise, but the odds are what they are. This move is good, and so is this. This is slightly better, because I am also indirectly protecting this square. I should be able to connect later. Oh, wait, what am I... I forgot about this. I could have blocked. That would have been better. Now I don't have an actionable move again. Because I want to go here, but this becomes too vulnerable. 4 tiles, 4 tiles. This is a move. So is this restricting their field, but it doesn't restrict it by much. 1, 2, 3. And then they get to do this. All right, let's go here. You know why I'm not gonna do this? Because there's still 1 tile remaining that fits here. Far better is just to continue my own city and take advantage. You see, so it was an important move, right? Because they can't go here, drop a farmer, threaten this guy. That's a good move. I was going to say until they left the city cap open, they should always meeple this. They have enough meeples to do so. 2 river ring roads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, actually, let's leave a ring road for ourselves. We get a meeple back. We get a greater field, and that's interesting. So they are starring a city in their field instead of taking the empty one. Maybe they're hoping to snatch this ruin. In some scenarios, it's even gonna get completed, but I'm gonna try and prevent that. I'm gonna do my best to prevent that. Okay, good. There is plenty city caps remaining for me to do this. I can do this later. There's still 3 of those remaining. So we might as well go here. This is excessive, I think, because this will get blocked very, very easily. In fact, any triangle, there's still many of those, at least 3, plus also some of those, and I get to block 2 meeples versus 1. And we get to take a road, which we absolutely should. So as I said, the block should be complete. There are no longer tiles that fit here. Should we farm? Yeah, why not? It already has 3 points. It's using my meeples efficiently. Good move, but they should turn the city cap the other way so that it is not left lying around in my field. We get a meeple back pretty soon, which is nice. We're getting decent tiles here. I think maybe they're playing with expansions normally and they don't know that this city is already dead. It's an okay move though. We get a fantastic tile to continue our city. They do get a very good tile to split. But it took them such a long time to find it. Now we still have meeple equality again. Now that's a good move, right? Because it sets up to connect through a monastery, with which they're going to get like 8 or even 9 more points. So why don't we drop a farmer ourselves? Yes, it's blockable, but what does it matter? Ooh, or here. But I want to keep the starting tiles live, because there's still some of them exist. All right, let's go here. You see? starting tiles live. And then, I don't know, we're not going to drop any more farmers prematurely. We're just going to react to what our opponent does. 3 points, I'm assuming. Okay, starting tile. Have to go here. Do we meeple the city cap? I think the answer is no, just because there's so few of those left. There's one city cap with a crossroads, for which we have use anyway, because we can take 3 points for the road over here. There's one regular city cap, maybe at most, no splitters, but the regular city cap we're going to use over here. And there are no dividers of any kind. Actually, no, there's one divider, which we're going to use over here anyway. So I think it's okay to leave this one empty. They should pick it up, I think. Oh, okay. Good move. But because this field is important, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's still 2 curves remaining. Or maybe even 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, no, 2. So this means that the better move is to go here and meeple this farm, just to equalize this guy. But still, to make that move, I had to surmount psychological barriers, okay? Do you know, I needed to not meeple. Okay, let's just go here and take 3 points. I don't think I'm going to need a meeple back anytime soon. Yep, that's fine. We should connect here. This connection is not as important. This move just gave them -3 points. And also one of the reasons why I didn't want to meeple back, because I knew that the remaining tiles were all quick points. Monastery, field connections, and city caps. Here we get to score 6 points, although, is that a misstep? Maybe I could have gotten here. 7. No, it's cool. And now finally, I think the correct move is to take 4 points over here to make sure that our opponent gives us a point when they get this. And then for a final move, we get 3 more points for this field. And they get to score 6 points over here. We ended up losing 3 points in this mini battle, but that's completely fine. Alrighty, well, this one went quite smoothly. It does seem that we're playing a bit of a less experienced player who possibly mostly plays with expansions, given how much time they spent trying to build up this city, which never ended up completing. But I think my biggest opponent's mistake was made in the first move by not meepling this monastery, which ended up being completed anyway, despite the fact that nobody was trying to complete it. Imagine how quickly it would have been completed had they've tried on purpose. So they were rated 251. And we get only 4 rating points. So it does look like this is going to take a while. I'm not going to lie, I thought that this was going to be the video that's where we crossed the 500 threshold, but it has to be the next one, apparently. By the way, let's look at the endgame stats. So points from fields, obviously lots. They got 15 points. Oh yeah, because of the shared top field and this bottom field. they could have had way more points for monasteries, but I already made that. Oh, also an important statistic. You see like a big difference in meeples placed. So this represents aggressive scoring and quick points as well. And so if you have this statistic too low, because you can look at your average as well. I think my average is about 18, which also happens to be like one of the highest on the platform. As you've noticed, I'm quite a greedy player. So if you have your statistic of meeples placed too low, this could mean two things. Either you are too conservative and like are not taking enough risks, or maybe you are like deploying farmers very early so that you don't have enough meeples to score other stuff. Or, you know, maybe like leaving empty monasteries or something like this. Or this could mean that you are placing your meeples too often and getting them blocked. So you can't be aiming to improve this statistics by itself. You have to actually make sure that you know how this statistic relates to your game. And in this case, it obviously made sense the way the game was flowing. But everything depends on the situation. Remember in the previous game we had 15 place meeple and our opponent had 19 and we won anyway. Just because it was a game where fields were more important, especially given the fact that we didn't get a lot of monasteries, we got only one. Alrighty, I hope you learned something. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you soon.